Hello friends, it's Kat from Meow Meow Kapow. Last week I got heckin' sick and lost my voice completely, but through the magic of many cups of tea and many snugs from our faithful Dr. Bub, I'm mostly back in fighting shape. Rather than start by talking about how I've been using my Schmincke watercolors lately, even though the first time I tried the brand I thought I hated it, I want to talk about changing. Mostly in art, but if you want to talk about life changes, that's way cool too. See, I like to switch up my styles and mediums pretty frequently, and lately, despite loving my wacky cartoony noodle arm people, I've wanted to work in a way that feels just slightly more realistic. After having done plenty of realism in college, I know it's a skill I have in me, but it's something I'll have to reconnect with. And truthfully, I don't think I'll ever be the kind of person that doesn't twist reality just slightly. So I decided to experiment with sketching out some characters in pencil with shading. It was actually a notion inspired by that last well-inked box I got that had the sketching pencils in it. Then I figured I'd just lay down some thin washes of watercolor to tint the piece, but not have it be the main thing determining values. Personally, I'm liking this type of sketching and want to experiment with it more. To me, it's important to let yourself explore different ideas and techniques and styles just so you don't find yourself stuck in a rut. That's probably part of why I have so many different hobbies. I'm always trying to keep things interesting and engage different parts of my brain. It's the curse and blessing of a multi-potentialite. Is that something you do? To me, trying new things always leads to some sort of self-improvement, even if it starts out a complete disaster. I'm not saying this is a disaster, by the way. I'm just saying it's a place to start. Sometimes it's also good to retry old things. See, in the spirit of changing, you're also totally allowed to change your mind about anything at any time. Case in point, I mentioned that the first time I ever used Schmincke watercolors, I really didn't like them. Thought they were dull and lifeless and didn't really see the point when I'd been using Daniel Smith watercolors for at least 6 months, which pack a huge punch and barely have any kind of drying shift. Meaning the color that you put down is usually exactly the same as what it will look like when dried, not lighter or darker. I'd started off with a small 12 half-pan set from them, and most of the colors were normal, earthy, and natural. They just didn't suit my painting style, and I wasn't really into them, so I put the palette aside and said no thanks. Months later, Eve Bolt told me about a sale on the student line of Schmincke over on the Jackson's website, so I bought them, as well as a much larger set of the professional Horadam line because it was about to be my birthday and I wanted to treat myself. Plus, I figured having student versus pro would be a cool thing to test. I've been sitting on this palette for nearly a year already and only ever really bring it out for doodles, but you know what? It turns out I like these paints now. I'm not sure if I fall down super crazy and love them, but accidentally falling for Snellier watercolors has given me a huge appreciation for transparent paints that layer well, which these certainly do. So it turns out that time, a new perspective, additional experience, and a willingness to remain open to having my mind changed has taken me from really disliking something into really liking it. The older I get, the more often I feel like things I thought I knew or felt for certain have changed, and that's actually pretty cool. Though it may be hard to comprehend on the part of anyone who may have already organized you nicely into a box, even if that person is yourself. So, what's the point here? Keep an open mind. Don't be afraid of change. Let yourself retest the waters of past experiences if you haven't for a while. And feel free to jump headfirst into an entirely new pool if it's something you want to go ahead and do. You are not only allowed to change as often as you want, it's really required if you ever want to find growth. I'd love to know of any things you've experimented with that helped you grow, or even that just told you maybe that wasn't a direction you were ready for just yet. Oh, and definitely if you went back and revisited something you either did or didn't like before. Were you surprised? It can be artistically, it can be life stuff, or whatever this resonates with. Embrace the change! Until I see you next time, I wish you peace, love, and an open heart. Bye!